Good morning. Welcome to Bolsa Chit Chats today in Bolsa. And today that we invite the Officer Kevin Mac Cormick. I have the honors to meet him a couple times in events, and I would like to come in here, talk about the homeless, outreach.
Absolutely.
As the city of Westminster has a program, and we just want to bring it into so people can understand what's going on the homeless to prevent and to take care of those people on the street.
Perfect.
All right. So, how are you doing, Officer?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good. Thanks for your serve. And I know that serving the public is not easy.
Nowadays, no, it's not.
So we're going to say that we see a lot of homeless happen right now in Westminster.
Yes.
And I didn't have a chance to go to the website, and I saw that there's quite a bit of that you respond. The dispatch receive a lot of call about homeless issue.
Yep.
And we don't have enough time and man to go out and talk to them. And I know this, that most of them is involved with substance abuse. You know, most of the
Some of them
very mental issue and all this stuff. So how we should do, what we should and what we should not do when we face the homeless.
Well, the big thing is if you have homeless congregating on your property, call the Westminster Police Department. We have a homeless outreach team that will respond, and they will contact the individuals, and they will find out where they came from, what's going on in their lives. We have 2 officers and 1 civilian outreach worker assigned to the unit, and they're very busy, but they will get out there. They'll make contact with the people, see if there's any services that that are available to them, and if they're willing to accept services, and start that process of getting them either into emergency housing with the hopes of getting them into permanent housing down the road.
Officer Kevin say là nếu mà quý vị có những người homeless ở trong tới thành phố của quý vị hoặc là những business của quý vị đó, quý vị nên gọi cảnh sát. Thì cảnh sát sẽ gửi người tới để coi cái trường hợp người homeless đó như thế nào, tình trạng bị mental issue hay là bị gì đó, thì họ sẽ tìm một cái service để giúp những người đó. Thì hiện tại cái homeless outreach á, thì sẽ có 2 officer và 1 người assistant on that. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I know as homeless, I just want to find out why people become homeless. I mean, you go out there, you probably do a lot of interview with the homeless people, so you can know why and how long they've been on the street usually.
That's $1 million question. So some people become homeless because of mental health reasons. Some people are homeless due to addiction issues, whether it be drugs or alcohol. And other people, they become homeless because things that have happened in their lives. And that's why when we go out and talk to them, our primary mission for the homeless outreach team is to get them services and get them off the street. So we want to find out what exactly brought them to this point. If it's mental health issues, we will work on getting them into the proper facility to get assistance, whether they need medication or they need therapy. If it's addiction issues, we try to convince them to go to sobering centers, get cleaned up, and get them into an addiction program and get them off the street that way. Other folks, if they're down on the luck, things happen in their lives, we try to find out what exactly that was and see if there's anything we can do to mediate it.
So you actually go there and talk to these homeless people and find out. Thì ông cảnh sát Kevin nói là khi mà quý vị gọi đó thì những người nhân viên cảnh sát tới trực tiếp những người homeless và nói chuyện với họ để coi họ cần giống như là mental, tức là đầu óc không được bình thường hoặc là dùng drugs, thì những cái service nào đó thì cảnh sát sẽ tìm những cái đó và giúp cho những người đó trở thành bớt những cái đó. Thì đó là một cái hành động mà những người cảnh sát của homeless outreach của Westminster doing that. And usually, how long those people out on the street? Is that a year, 2 years, 5 years, 6 years?
It just depends. Some have been out there for years.
Wow.
Others are new to the street life.
Oh, I see. Thì ông ta nói có nhiều người 1 năm, 5 năm hoặc là mới. So, for the homeless, I believe that if they come out on the homeless for a short period of time, if we can help them, and that would be the easy way to do that more than the guy being out on the street for 10 years.
It just depends. Some folks, they've been out in the street for a long period of time. They get tired. It's a rough life, so they eventually see that they don't want to do that anymore. And we also have people that are brand new to being homeless, and they've experienced a little bit, and they don't want to do it.
Oh, I see. So, ông cảnh sát nói Kevin là tùy người homeless, có nhiều người 5-6 năm nhưng điều người ta có thể người ta ý thức được, có nhiều người 1 năm người ta không ý thức được. I read on information about that domestic violence, they losing the job, those part of the homeless too, right?
It can be. There's a wide variety of reasons. So a lot of times they've lost a job, they can no longer pay rent, and that pushes them out onto the street. If mental illness, for whatever reason, they're not getting along with family anymore, so that pushes them out on the street because either they're not taking their medication or not in therapy, or addiction issues. Addiction issues are horrible. It's a horrible, horrible thing.
Yeah, thì ông cảnh sát Kevin nói đó, có nhiều người đó là domestic violence, tức là mình đánh vợ hoặc đánh chồng, đánh con, hoặc là những người bị mất job. Nhưng cái quan trọng nhất là những người mà xài drugs, thì cái đó là cái mà quan trọng nhiều nhất. You know, I look back and, you know, I came here a long time ago. I don't see a lot of homeless at that time. But now I see more and more because of the environment or because of the situation or whatever. But I don't see homeless like 1976, 77, 80. I don't see homeless. Probably I do see it, but probably just 1 or 2 person.
Yeah.
But now I can see like 500, 600 of them.
That's another great question of why that is. Drugs are a lot more prevalent now than they used to be back in the 70s or even in the 80s. You had, during the state budget crises, you had a lot of mental health hospitals were getting closed down. So those people got pushed out, and there's no place for them to go now. A lot of people should be in hospitals getting the help they need, but those hospitals don't exist anymore. So I think that's part of the reason. Obviously, a lot of things that are going on with, budgets and COVID had a lot to do with it. People losing their jobs during COVID. All has a lot to do with why all of a sudden we see a big influx of it.
Thì ông Kevin ông nói là cái là về cái vấn đề đó là trước đó mình không thấy, nhưng điều mình thấy bây giờ là về vấn đề công ăn việc làm, drugs dễ mua, và nó có nhiều cái vấn đề làm cho nó increase cái homeless now these days. Do we have any shelter in Westminster now?
We do not have one in Westminster. Right now we're working on building a shelter along with the city of Garden Grove and the city of Fountain Valley. So the 3 cities together will have a shelter over in the city of Garden Grove, and we'll have beds allocated to the city of Westminster.
Okay. Ông ta nói là bây giờ thành phố Garden Grove nó đang working với lại thành phố Westminster sẽ có một cái shelter, thì cái shelter đó work với lại Garden Grove để mình có những cái chỗ để cho người homeless có thể tới và giúp cho người ta cái đó. When they open that, is that will be walk-in service or you know that? I mean, if the homeless can just walk in there to get the service when the shelter's up, or
if a homeless person walks up to the doors and contacts somebody there, obviously they're going to assist them and do the same thing, interview them, find out what's going on with them, what services they might have access to, and try to point them in the right direction. It goes through a referral system, so people have to be like, if somebody is in Westminster, we refer them to our shelter. We have those beds allocated for us. Our community outreach manager, she'll be handling most of that, and she will contact the shelter. Hey, this is who we have. They're going to be brought over. They have to be brought over by an officer because the shelter still has to stay secured.
Oh, I see.
But people can walk up and request assistance. That part is still in the planning stage.
Oh, I see.
They'll be finding a company that will manage the shelter, and they'll be determining all those rules and guidelines.
Thì hôm nay cái shelter sẽ open up đó, thì là quý vị, những người homeless có thể walk in, thì đó người ta sẽ coi trường hợp những người đó như thế nào và giúp như thế nào để cho người ta đi vô những cái shelter ở. Thì cái đó trường hợp đó giờ nó còn mới lắm, nó chưa có happen. But at this time, if we have the homeless in here, do they have a shelter to go at this time?
We have the Yale Navigation Center, which is the county shelter, that is available to us. So as long as there's beds available there, we can call over and see if we can get somebody in.
So where is that located at?
It's over in Santa Ana.
Oh, in Santa Ana.
And again, our community outreach manager, she's really good at talking to our folks here in our city, our homeless folks, interviewing them, finding out their needs, and then she will contact the shelters.
Ok, thì ông nói là khi mà ông đi ra những người homeless, ông sẽ làm một cái quick interview, tức là hỏi lý do tại sao, và sau đó đó thì nếu mà đúng một cái trường hợp đó, thì có thể đưa họ tới cái Santa Ana shelter rất là gần đây để giúp cho họ trong cái việc mà để cho rehab họ. How long is that the outreach Westminster program have been in the street now?
Well, the homeless liaison program has been in existence for about 4 years. We started out with one officer, went to two, and we just recently added our community outreach manager.
Ok, cái chương trình này của ông nó khoảng 4 năm nay, thì bây giờ là sẽ có 2 officer work trong đó, thì sẽ outreach với những người homeless. So the time's up right now, officer, and I thank you very much for information.
Thank
and
you.
Hopefully that will deliver to people so they can understand about that.
Yep.
And we can work together to help them out.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks,
Okay.
officer.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, huh? Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.